Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about anything beyond two digits times two digits. So we kind of concluded with two by two digit multiplication, but you're going to see at least three by two digit, perhaps four by two digit, perhaps even five by two digit. I mean, you can multiply any number by a two-digit number, but usually you will only see 3, 4, and 5. 1 and 2, obviously. But 3, 4, and 5 will be in the upper grades. Probably my sixth graders, maybe even my fifth graders. So we're going to look at those more complex numbers multiplied by two digits. Now, today, since we're back in my classroom for the day, I figured we would use my dice. So, I'm going to try to turn the computer screen so we can roll the dice and you can see the dice. Okay. So, we're going to start with, we finished two digit by two digit, so we're going to start with three digit by two digit. So we're going to start by finding our two digit number. Alright, so let's roll these dice. Okay. So you can't, oh, it slid down. You can't see, but I rolled 1 and 3. So our two-digit number is going to be, instead of 13, let's make it 31. Now let's find our three-digit number. And I'm just going to sit you up like this because that really didn't work as well as I thought it would. I think because I don't have much room. So we have 2 and 2, and then we have 3. So we're going to do 233 or 232 times 31. I'm going to take out my phone here because that's a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we've got several methods that I've explained to do this. However, when you're getting up to the bigger numbers, I would watch out doing any way other than the standard algorithm. However, you can do it any way you would like. So we're going to start with the end number, the number in the ones place. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. And 2 times 1 is 2. So that was pretty easy. So all we did was multiply all three of the numbers up top by the number in the ones place, which was 1. Now what we're going to do, very important, we're going to mark out the 1 and put a 0 right here. That's going to signify that you're going to, marking out the 1 is going to signify that you're going to put a 0 down here. I'm backwards. A 0 down here. Alright. So then we're going to start multiplying all the numbers by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And 2 times 3 is 6. So we're going to add those up. As you can see here. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 3 is 6. And now I'm not left with very much room, but I'm going to make do with what I have. So we're going to add these. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 6 is 9. 2 plus 9 is 11. Put down your 1 and carry your 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. So our answer to 232 times 3 is 7,192. And I could have not run out of room had I started at the top. Now, okay, so we're going to do that the box method, which I know is a preferred method for my 5th graders. So we're going to try that by the box method. So we're going to break 232 down into 230 and 2. We're going to break 31 down into 30 and 1. And we're going to draw our box. Now, little known fact, you actually don't have to draw your box. But if that makes the box method more enjoyable for you, do whatever gives you pleasure in math, because I know sometimes math can be a little boring, but we have to do it. So 30 times 200, we multiply the front numbers. 3 times 2 is 6, and we add the zeros in the back. 1, 2, 3. 200 times 1, anything times 1 is the bigger number, is 200. 30 times 1 is 30. 2 times 1 is 2. Now let's finish the top. 3 times 3, the front numbers, is 9. We add the 2 zeros. 30 times 2 is 60. Now, this is why I don't really like the box method for when you get to bigger numbers. Because all those numbers would really overwhelm me and freak me out. However, I am going to show you that it works. So, we have 6,960 on the top plus 232, which, if you recall, these numbers should look pretty familiar to you, because that's what we got at the bottom of the standard algorithm. Now we're just going to add. 0 plus 2 is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 6 is 7. And that is what we got when we did the standard algorithm. So I'm gonna let you choose. I'm gonna caution you from using the box method, but it's your decision. If you're confident enough in your abilities and you're confident enough in your math skills that you can do the box method and you know you're not going to get it wrong, then by all means do the box method on every problem you encounter, every multiplication problem. But if not, I wouldn't do the box method. However, I have studied the box method. I'm going to show you both ways for these problems, and we're going to work through it that way. So let's do 4 by 2. So let's roll, get our 2-digit number, 53. And I'm going to start way up here, so this way I don't run out of room this time. That wasn't a roll. 2165. 2165. Okay, so these are our numbers that we're going to multiply. 2,165 on top times 53. So we're going to start by multiplying all the numbers on top by the number in the ones place on the bottom. So 5 times 3 is 15. Carry your 1. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Carry your 1. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And 2 times 3 is 6. So we're done with our first line. Now we're going to cross out your 3 to show us that we're going to put a 0 below the 5. Now we're going to start on the tens place. 5 times 5 is 25. Put down your 5, carry your 2. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 2 is 32. Carry your 3. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 is 8. And 2 times 5 is 10. And I almost got too close to the side on that. So now we're just going to add these numbers at the bottom. If you can see that at the bottom, we're just going to add these numbers. And like always, we're going to start at the ones place. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 5 is 14. Carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 6 plus 8 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And just 1, because we don't have a 0, is we bring it down and it's 1. So our answer to this problem, 2,165 times 53, is 100,014. 745. 114. I said 100,014. 114,745. Now, we're going to do that by the box method. Not my favorite method, but I'm just going to do it so I can show you that it still works. Alright, so we're going to break 2,165 up into 2,165, breaking it up into the standard form. Breaking it up into the standard form. And then we're going to break 53 up to 50 and 3. And we made a nice long box because these are nice long numbers. Alright, so now with the 50 and the 2,000, we're going to multiply the numbers at the beginning. We're going to get 10. And we're going to add these zeros, which are 4 zeros at the end. Alright. 3 times 2,000 is 6,000 because we multiplied the numbers at the beginning. 50 times 100 is 5,000. 3 times 100 is 300. 3 times 60 is 180. And 3 times 5 is 15. 50 times 5 is 250. And 50 times 60 is 300. Now, this is why I'm not a fan of the box method. Look at all these numbers. This is even more than last time. However, if you feel comfortable with the box method, go ahead and do it. All right. So we're going to add these, and this is another big step that's going to cause problems potentially. So we got 150,550. If you can't add that in your head like I did, just do it as side work, side scratch work. But please don't get these numbers incorrect, because if you do, your answer is going to be incorrect. And I have a sneaking suspicion that there's something wrong with our answer anyway. All right. So the bottom row is 6,000. 6,485. 6,495. Okay, so here we got 157,045, as you can see here. So I'm pretty confident I made a mistake somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to record that number and then do the standard algorithm again. This is the process by which you're going to have to go by to check your work. And I just forgot my number. So, I guess we're not going to check that. Should have written everything down, right? However, I'm just going to tell you that be very, very careful using the box method. With big numbers is not necessarily a good idea. Now, instead of rolling, I'm just going to make up some numbers for 5 by 2. $47,352 times 36. Now, are you going to see 5 by 2 in 5th grade? Probably not. Are you going to see it in 6th grade? More than likely. Are you going to see it in 7th grade? Absolutely. So, let's figure out how to do this using the standard algorithm. And then, this time, Mr. Betty's going to write down all of his numbers so that way he doesn't forget what numbers he was multiplying. 2 times 6 is 12, carry the 1. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31, carry the 3. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 3 is 21, carry the 2. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 4 is 44, plus 2 is 44, carry the 4. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 4 is 28. So, we're going to mark out that 6 to show that we're going to add a 0 below the 2, below the 1's place. The reason that we're doing that is because we're not multiplying by 3, we're multiplying by 30. Because remember, 3 is in the 10's place. So 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 1 is 22. Carry the 2. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. So we're just going to add your 14 because we're at the end. So now we're going to add these big long numbers. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 plus 5 is 6. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then bring down your 1. So we got a big number. We've got 1,704,672. So that's a really big number. And I might venture to guess that you might not even see that number. And you know, that's fine if you don't. So I was talking to my girlfriend last night, and we were having a conversation about big numbers, big math problems, and the use of calculators. When you get to 8th grade, you'll be able to use a calculator. However, I taught at a class in Richmond County last year, an 8th grade math class, and the funniest thing is all the students wanted to use a calculator for everything, but they never brought calculators. And we had about 5 calculators in the classroom, and we had about 30 students in the classroom. So they said, I want to use a calculator. I said, okay. Well, in the time that it takes you to find a calculator, I'll have this problem worked out. And that is why it would benefit you to know how to do these problems by hand. Not because you're not going to have a calculator handy, but you won't all the time. Sometimes you're not going to have a calculator. And that's really going to cause a problem if you don't know how to do these problems by hand. So no matter what method you use, standard algorithm, partial products, box method, I saw some weird Japanese method the other day on Facebook, lattice. However you get the answer is fine. As long as you get the answer or get an answer. Okay, so let's look at this by the box method. Once again, the box method is going to complicate a lot of things. But if you like the box method and you're confident that you can use the box method correctly, then be my guest. Okay, so I wrote down my numbers so this time I remember. 40,000 times 7,000, or plus 7,000, plus 300, plus 50, plus 2, and my board's barely big enough, times 36. 30 plus 6. I don't even know if my board's going to be big enough. Okay. So we multiply our first numbers. That's going to make this easy for you. And 4 times 3 is 12. And we add zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 4 times 6 is 24. We add zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're done with that line. 3 times 7 is 21, and we add zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 times 7 is 42, and we add zeros. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's it. 3 times 3 is 9, and we add zeros. 1, 2, 3. 3 times 6 is 18, and we add zeros. 1, 2. 3 times 5 is 15, and we add zeros. 1, 2. 6 times 5 is 30, and we add 1 0. 6 times 2 is 12, and 30 times 2 is 60. Now, you want to talk about difficult. Look at this. Those are some really big numbers. We're talking that first number is 1,200,000. However, we're going to give this box method a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 21. 9,000. So we've got 150,000. Now we're going to start here. 150,000. Wait, that can't be right. I missed a 0. $1,500,000. I'm sorry, 1,500,000. And we're gonna add the next rows. 1,500 right here. 60. 0, 6, 5, 1, 0, 1, 5. So we got one. We got 1,501,560 on the first line. So let's write that down. 1,501,560. All right. So now let's start on the second line. And the first number to the second line isn't as bad. 240,000. All right. Now let's go 42,000. 1,800. 0, 0, 8, 3, 8, 2. As you can see, I'm kind of, my board's not even big enough for this, so I'm having to break it up. $317. 711,428. 284,117. 284,117. So our first number was 1,501,560. And our second number was 284,117. Okay, now we're going to add these, see what we get. 7, 7, 6, 5, 8, 7, 1. And I didn't get the same thing. So that is another one of my proofs that the box method is not going to be your best method, because it's very difficult as you get to bigger numbers. So I know that the box method was fun for 2 by 2, but I also know that it's a 5th grade standard for 3 by 3. And the box method is really difficult for 3 by 3. So the more numbers you're working with, the harder it is to make sure you get it right. So I just want to make sure that everybody that is watching these videos, everybody that's in my class, everybody that's going to middle school next year, or the year after that, or the year after that, I love you all, and I want all of you to get the best grades possible and be the best student possible for yourself, for your parents, and for our world. So I'm going to continue my videos. I'm going to advocate for the method that I think is going to help you the most. And until next time, I'll see you later. And just keep in mind that you're in charge of your destiny. You're in charge of how well you do in school.